So, it's fall now, right? Whew, it's getting cold. I'm outside. Alright, so all these, quote unquote, that we call setback, and we look at them as a very, we look at it through a lens, and I noticed that these setback that happen to me, it's like redirecting me into like a different direction that um, I didn't think that it would happen. Like, um, I would never, like, if these setbacks, quote unquote, we think are negative, but oftentimes these negative events or setback are helping us retrain or seeing a situation in a very different light. And what end up happening is not just redirecting, it is changing the course um, where you want it to go, because oftentimes um, there's many different directions that you could go, or there are many different paths that you can end up with. But those things that we ever want to achieve, because we are motivated by different things and we are not motivated by the same things. So as this book says, right? And so in this book, he said, by John Maxwell, he said, all the time I see people with purpose who are inconsistent in their progress. They have ambition to succeed and they show up attitude for their job, yet they don't move forward. Why? Because they think they can master their job and they don't need to master themselves. But also, I think is the people that we surround ourselves by, their thoughts patterns and their thinking, that do they really, like, you have to look at a realm is very different from people who have ambitions and people who have dreams to better themselves, to grow. Um, they talk a different language, they speak a different tone, and they speak their thoughts patterns are very different. And you can hear people who don't want much, people who don't want anything out of life. They just want to live life at the moment. And sometimes moments are good, but sometimes moments are like, um, I'm thinking of, because when they talk, when they speak, um, they don't want, they just want to just get by, right? They just want to not live a life of what they're proud of doing, or what they're proud of becoming, or what they're proud of achieving, or doing something uh, to help themselves or to help other people. Is when you're surrounded by, they're not good people, or I mean they're not bad people, but it's just that you can you don't have to you don't have to kick them out of your life, but just know that you have dreams and ambition that you must follow through. And sometimes um, things happen, negative things happen, and they collide, and 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 we most of the time, like, let's say a negative event happened to me, I just beat myself a lot. Why couldn't I do this better? Or but these events, these negative or setback that happened to me, push me into doing something that I never done before. Um, that oftentimes lead me into thinking what it really is negative events, because these negative events, or quote unquote setback, like happen, like if I stay in this like that situation, like in moments where I'm with my friends and we're having a good time playing cards, and if I keep that up, I was thinking, what if I go into, let's say, negative things happen, and I get stressed out and something happened, and it just uh, turned me into a different direction that I never thought that, wow, if this event didn't happen, all the magical things or all these things happen, and push you forward into something that you never. It's like magic, right? It's like something that you never thought that could come out of like a situation, uh, a setback that we have. That's my thoughts for the day. I know that oftentimes entrepreneurs and anybody who are into self-help, personal development, they have very high ambitions, and I do too. And oftentimes we have different people. I think that we have different ambition, we have different goals in life, but we can push ourselves forward into achieving them. But we have to know what motivates us and what value that we hold, and um, that's my thoughts today. So in John Maxwell, he said in the book, not every uh, one get motivated by the same things or motivated by the same. Um, Start by leveraging. Yeah, I can't even say it, your personality type to get yourself going. Be patient. When he give when he give the advice to be patient, he's the one who needed the most. Oftentimes, the goal that we want to achieve, the things that we push ourselves to do, and we might not achieve it right away because we want the results uh, fast because we want it now. But often now it doesn't really help us with the growth and the process that we have to go through, the learning uh, and the experience that we needed to see a situation, to see who we can become, to see our thought pattern can change, and these life events, experience change us. It can, and I noticed that most people never realize how close they are to achieving significant things because they give up too soon. Everything worthwhile in life take dedication and time. Everything that we ever wanted to build, everything that we ever wanted to do, uh, the mindset, the content, the things that we care about, or the things that we do, it takes time and dedication, and we have to put forth the effort. Um, and I was looking at Evan Carmichael Instagram post today, and really, uh, I forgot what it was. I can't remember. Because when you have nothing, right? When you have nothing to lose, when you don't have anything, you have nothing to lose, right? But when there's something at stake, when there's some small wins that you have, or uh, success isn't about the big magical big wins, but it's the small things that you do. Just don't You don't want just to have the one success and then you stop. You want to continually move up the chain of success and keep moving forward of that. And uh, and oftentimes there are many times that I want to give up on a lot of things because it was those things that it's like it feel like they're out of reach, right? And then it's like when you fall off and you like you achieve one thing, right? You achieve all these things, or you achieve building a skill, but then you realize when you fall off and you feel like, man, like I don't know about you, but sometimes most time when I fell off the wagon, I felt like crap, right? And then I start pushing myself down, right? But but after that, the events happen, and then something magical happened between these quote unquote setback, and you realize, huh? I wonder if this is somehow the universe is uh, helping me move forward in understanding something that I have overlooked or didn't understand at first, right? And those events, those things that we do or do differently change us, um, and make us look life in a different, totally direction that we didn't do before, right? And those setbacks that we have are a way to make a comeback, not just a comeback, but better, higher. uh, seeing a better picture for our future. Now, most people not might agree with what I say, and I realize it's my strong opinion because you know things don't make aware of if they aren't actually here. If I just cut um, sugar coated like the problem that we have in the Asian community. Most people don't like it because they want to sugarcoat it. Like, let me give you an example, right? The day that see, most people don't understand about Asian culture. Um, when my ex, right, the most painful moment. The only reason why I say this is because people don't understand it because they haven't went through what I went through, right? Not I'm not talking about when in Asian culture, most often time they don't like dating other races, right? Because they want to date in their own culture. So I remember now it's not to be negative or anything, but I remember the time when my ex would say, "I love you," but that is the most painful moment for me. Uh, and she said, um, her mom won't let me whatever marry her because I am not, Indian or Indian, Asian, whatever. And that's the most painful moment of my life. That's why I wanted to solve things in the Asian community, the Kung Fu community, because it's what those painful moments in my life happens. Because those things that we want to share or those things that we want to do, but they end up yeah, it changed you as a person. It's most painful moments, yes. But those painful moments and the good moments and the painful moments are there to teach you a lesson and to push you forward. Um, and that's my thoughts. I think that because people don't have experience or people who uh, don't like to hear that because they never felt that in that situation where you hear um, the one that you used to love say these things and it's very hurtful. And if they that's why I wanted to solve it because in those painful moments, it's like Vision Lakani, right? In the story in the mind code or whatever his book, you know, he's Indian, right? And he talk about it in where Indian culture marry other Indian, and he want to break that. Like he talk about Hinduism, right? And that he his they stick to their own religion, and but he don't want that. That's why he studied other religion and other stuff he said. But he marry someone outside of his culture, right? He married the love of his life, and she was a redhead. And if you read it in the book, and oftentimes people, that's what I wanted to share because people get angry, people get offended, but they don't understand the situation and the outlook that they think in their mind. They think, for me, I'm not always right, right? You know, and those videos that I have are people think that just because I uh, put out a video, I can change. I read it in the book of romantic relationship are not stagnant. People are not stagnant. People change, right? Like people, I remember Ty Lopez once said in his video on YouTube, he said, you know, his opinion, his thought, his philosophy will change because he changed as a person. Your philosophy and your thinking will change as a person when you grow, when you go through things, when your the setback that you have, everything, because everything are we don't like it, but it doesn't matter we like it or not. We're going to change anyway. Our body will change, our facial will change because of gravity, and everything will time, the because of I don't know if they said, um, and that's my thoughts. Like I think that people don't understand that these problem because we these are the problem that people have. Like they don't like the situation where other race date other races, right? But it's the reality of it, right? It's not because you know you shouldn't um, say like that if you never experienced the pain or the situation that you had to go through. That's my thoughts today. And in doing so, it the moments that we have, we should cherish them, treasure them, because at the end of your life, what matters most? Memories, the the things that we did do, but oftentimes those things that we didn't do, we have lots of regrets. So, I'll see you guys next time.